Hello Andrew, so how is authentication handled by GDPR?
Well, one of the key aspects of GDPR is obviously to make sure that any organisation has to make sure they can authenticate it is their customer, asking for their customer's data before they can provide it. Obviously, because otherwise I could ask for your data, and that would, in itself would be a breach of GDPR. The problem we have is that there's no definition of authentication within the regulation itself.
Right, okay.
Beyond that, the organisation should go so far as possible to ascertain that it is indeed the correct individual. Now, this becomes problematic because having no definition within GDPR itself, we then have to fall back onto other legislation, such as, for example, in financial services, the Payment Service Directive 2, which does have a definition of strong customer authentication.
Will this apply to other financial services organisations though?
Well, obviously financial services organisations themselves have PSD2 to comply with anyway, but outside financial services, other organisations don't necessarily have the same sort of level of granularity for how they should authenticate. However, given that PSD2 says strong customer authentication is required for any transaction over 30 euros, I believe, I certainly, and I imagine you would, rather have at least the same level of security in place for your medical records, for example, as a 30 euro transaction. So the strong customer authentication under PSD2 may well become seen as a best practice for other organisations as well.
Got you. Well, thank you very much, Andrew. Pleasure to meet you, and back to the studio.